Hey everyone, is there anyone there?
We should freeze frame so it looks like we're just like. Yeah, there's some people.
Hooray!
Some TikTokers.
Guess what, everyone? We're on time this week.
Yep, we were a minute ahead of time.
We were actually ready to go ahead of time.
Pretty shocking.
Tell you what, the Coin Bureau is going from strength to strength. And look who's back, Macy. I think you need to. I'm going to shuffle.
Squeeze
across.
in.
You need to shuffle into shot. There we are.
Hello.
She's back.
Hi.
Welcome back, Macy.
Hello from Bangkok. Wow.
Ooh, getting in there with some exotic locales.
All right, they already know that we're going to ask where people are coming from.
Hello, everyone. Why is it every time I touch the market, it hurts my feelings? Stephen, I kind of know how. I feel your pain.
Yep.
I feel your pain.
I've had
and a lot of other feel your pain. A lot of other people are feeling the same way. I think it's a really tough time out there at the moment, isn't it?
Yep.
And we'll get into that. We'll get into why that is shortly. But yeah, Stephen, I hear you. It's tough, and I think often at times like this, people want to know what to invest in. People are asking about various coins, some that we've heard of, some that we haven't, and it's so tough because it's a difficult time to be investing. The markets are so volatile at the moment, and I mean there is the occasional ape coin or steppen out there which could suddenly go.
The one thing that I remember people talking about that in the office, and because the markets have been volatile, and to be honest, I haven't even been checking my portfolio until you made me do a clips video about my portfolio update.
Sorry.
Which was really sad. It was horrible. But I remember people in the office talking about that, and we were discussing ApeCoin, and I was like, you know what? Everything seems to be super volatile. I'm not going to invest at this moment in time. I invested at the start of the year. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yeah.
And I missed out. And
I haven't really been buying very much. I did get into Near Protocol a couple of weeks ago. I bought some of that, but mostly I've taken profit on a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But mostly I am just kind of holding on tight.
That's exactly what I've been doing.
Just sitting on some dry powder in UST.
Yep.
And just waiting for this whole thing to blow over.
Literally. Same.
So yeah, if in doubt, folks, if you're not sure what to do, sometimes doing nothing is the best option. I know that's a bit of a cop out. But
kind of like you're sat waiting for something.
Yeah. We're all waiting for some really good news. I mean, actually, weirdly, there's loads of good crypto-related news out there at the moment. There's loads of good adoption stuff happening. That we had some bullish news this week, which I'll get into in a little bit. But basically, everything that's holding the markets back is those good old macro factors again. And
world issues.
World issues.
World, sort your issues out.
Come on, world. That's basically what's weighing on the markets, and basically there's a whole load of uncertainty about. No one knows what's going to happen.
I mean, recession talks as well, which don't help anything. So I mean, there's all that.
Now it's interesting you mentioned recession actually, because the GDP figures for the US are negative. I think negative 1.4 at the moment. Now. That's kind of a lot of people were expecting that because of everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
But that was for the month we just had. Okay. So if next month's GDP figures are also negative, if you basically get two negative months of GDP growth in a row, you got yourself a recession officially.
No.
So, and judging from the sentiment out there, from the big guys, from the institutions, from people like BlackRock and other people who keep a strong eye on the markets, they pretty much seem to think it's nailed on.
Okay.
But I mean, look, anyone out there kind of thinking, well, maybe we won't have a recession, maybe we'll be all right. I think it's a bit optimistic. You've got a big dose of hopium to swallow down there.
Yeah, I mean, especially like you said, with what can we expect after everything that happened with the last few years?
Yeah.
I mean, it's bound to happen.
And everything that's kind of still going on.
Well, yeah,
really.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of expected it, to be honest. I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
But
doesn't make it any.
It doesn't
easier,
make it easier, and it doesn't mean that it's good. But what can we do? I mean, there's literally nothing we can't do. But you know what? Actually, I watched a video on YouTube a couple of days ago, and it was like taking positives out of recessions, because it sometimes can be a good time.
Good time to buy.
Yeah, obviously, and invest. So I mean.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk about investing in houses, though, which I don't really have the.
Okay. Real estate is you need some serious bags to go into real estate.
But at least that was something positive. So you can take positives out of it, I guess.
Oh, you've got to be positive, folks. Speaking of positive, anyhow, welcome everyone. Sorry, yes. I don't think I've said hello properly yet. So we're going live on Coin Bureau Clips. We're also going live on TikTok at the same time. Look at that. We're really stretching ourselves technologically.
And we were live at the right time.
Well, and we were live bang on time. I think
wild.
we were even a minute. That's never before seen. I mean, I think Bitcoin could rally on
just
that news. And yeah, I for one am in a very good mood. Partly because I'm wearing this.
This is quite funky.
Now, what do people feel about this? What's the kind of reaction? I haven't sort of seen anything about it in the comments yet.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think were you wearing one the other week?
I have worn it a couple of times. Yeah.
I was just gonna say you look like a skater, and it's Vans, which is very fitting. Yeah.
I bought this in Miami.
Oh.
I was walking back from the conference on like the second day of the conference. I was walking back along I can't remember, the South Drive or whatever it was, and I was in a very good mood in myself. I was with Mad Mike,
and always puts you in.
Who always, normally puts me in a terrible mood, but for once wasn't doing that. And we passed a van shop, and he was like, I want to go in and buy some clothes. So I sort of accompanied him. Yeah. And I saw this. I mean, cool story, bro, huh?
Cool story, bro. Skater, bro.
A guy bought a shirt. Yeah. So
I think it suits you.
Yeah.
Strangely as well. I mean, it's very out there.
This is part of my quest to sort of try and dress a bit more interesting. The jumper is very hacienda. Yeah. I agree.
Like mutton dressed as lamb. Like a 39-year-old man dressed as a teenager.
I'm just thinking back to last week's live stream when it was just me and any of this shade being thrown at me. Good Lord.
It does suit you.
It was just us. It was just us, people.
It wasn't actually, because I was in the comments. I was spamming you on.
You were it was you, was it?
Did you not see me?
I think I did see some comments. I bet that's Macy. So Macy, welcome back, Macy.
Thanks. Hi.
Macy has been in Italy.
I have, yes.
What were you doing in Italy?
Eating a lot of pasta and drinking a lot of red wine.
Oh, lovely.
To be fair, I was out there working, but remote working, which is you kind of start drinking around 3 while you're still doing your admin. So it was good. It was good. Weather was nice, as you can see, nice and tanned.
They really know how to live, the Italians, don't they? I got to hand it to them.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to be back though, to be fair, because I was out in the countryside, and I think I came to the conclusion that I am a city.
You're a city girl.
I'm a city rat, yeah. I like to be in the busy city with people barging into me, being frustrated.
Just everyone
angry.
Being moody.
Yeah, I love it.
Crowds, tension. Okay.
Convenience that I can walk outside and I can go and get something, and there's someone there that I can.
You just want ready, immediate access to lattes and red wine.
Yeah, I think so.
God forbid you should have to get in the car and drive somewhere.
You get so used to it.
Someone in the comments on TikTok saying Macy is the best thing about Coin Bureau.
Thank you so much. That humbles me. Definitely.
Macy humble. Anyway, welcome everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you're having a good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to talk a few things crypto today. We're going to talk about some of the macro factors
that are affecting
the market, and also a few of the crypto factors which are more positive. And as I said before, we're in this weird kind of situation, aren't we, where we're getting actually quite a lot of good crypto-related news, but these kind of macro factors are holding the market back.
Yep.
And I mean, you might remember me speculating last week. Now, this is my personal theory, and I've done some technical analysis on this, which pretty much proves that I'm 100% correct.
You're always right. You're always right.
That Bitcoin is hovering deliberately around the 40K mark
Why?
to troll me because I'm turning 40 later this year.
Oh, okay.
The technical and
that is
not my words, folks. The
That's
words of some
worse.
strong technical analysis. I've dug into it. I've looked at the charts, and I've come to the conclusion that Bitcoin is trolling me.
So when you hit 40, what it's gonna?
Well, that's really difficult to know. I think it's probably going to take
It's
off.
profound. This technical analysis is.
I tell you what, folks, technical analysis can tell you some pretty surprising things, especially if you drink a lot of red wine before you do it.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's my personal theory.
That's got to be worse than my astrology theory. That has to be worse. I know you guys love Gary, but please, that is way worse than my astrology predictions.
No, that was not financial advice. Goodness me, I should have prefaced that. Even though I did this deep dive technical analysis, none of what you've just heard is financial advice. And in fact, none of what you're about to hear over the next, 30, 40 minutes, however long we're on for, none of what you're about to hear is financial advice. Gabriel loves the tie-dye. Is the tie-dye getting good reviews generally?
Yeah. I think it brightens up the office, it brightens up the day, brightens up everyone's mood.
Certainly brightened up my mood. Well, I'm glad I'm brightening up the mood of the rest of the office.
Yes.
I mean, it makes a marked change from normal. So that's
No, you do.
That's great.
You do. He's quite a bright character.
Okay.
It's
lying.
I'm not. That's why I miss the office.
It is good to have you back, Mace, I have to say.
I miss coming in to really irritate you on a daily basis.
I mean, you're so good at it as well. You're so good
Professional irritator.
Please let us know where you guys are watching from. I was going to do my game of country bingo.
I was going to say when I wasn't here, there was some interesting developments happening within the live streams.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I was playing country bingo. And we got 2 out of 6.
I guessed Italy 5 times. Was I not right?
That was you.
Yeah, I was like, Italy.
Should have known.
I was throwing an Easter egg. I was like, it's me.
From Benidorm, Spain. Hello, Rolando. We've got someone from Malaga lurking somewhere about. In fact, Clara, could you at some point write down 6 countries on a piece of paper for us as we can play country?
Are we unprepared?
Country bingo. Yeah, I meant to do it, but I was just so busy doing technical analysis on Bitcoin.
Absolutely
useless.
We are.
Denmark, Morocco. I love the fact that our audience is so global. Netherlands, Sweden, Romania,
New York
NYC.
City.
This is amazing. Barcelona, Croydon. Croydon.
Luxembourg. I went there once as well.
Oh.
Luxembourg.
Wow. Dulwich.
I went there once.
Hold the phone.
Been there.
That's big news. You've been to Luxembourg.
I have been to Luxembourg.
Was it nice?
Yeah, it's quite small, quaint. Like it's a weird place actually. Not in a bad way, but it's just unlike anywhere else I've been. But I went on a rally when I used to work in the supercar rallies.
Oh yeah.
We stopped off in Luxembourg one evening.
Okay.
But it's cute. It's nice.
Wow. Okay.
Very corporate-y.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
They're quite businesslike.
Yes.
So I gather.
Yeah, and then we were
all
there.
About business.
We were there in like
and then you
sports car. Yeah, actually.
Is that where you can never go back? Did stuff go down?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
What a great mix of countries. Okay, let's talk about some of the things that have been happening in crypto this week. We had some good news. Fidelity, one of the biggest asset managers in the world, over in the States, is making it possible for investors to basically put money aside through their 401k, which is a kind of retirement savings vehicle.
Okay, like a pen, what we would call
yeah. So I think you do it through your employer. So
right.
Your employer sort of puts
in like a bit of money each.
Yeah, sets some of your paycheck aside, invests it in this 401k wrapper.
Yes.
And then they invest that in sort of various assets, companies, stocks, bonds, whatever it is. But Fidelity is now making it possible to invest in Bitcoin as well, up to 20%.
What, in America?
Yeah.
America, baby.
America, baby. So that's some great news. And I mean, the markets, I think under more perhaps normal circumstances, if we weren't in such volatile conditions at the moment, the market would have loved that. But as with all good news at the moment, the market just sort of went meh.
It's like you
carried
get
on
good news and
slumping.
then it's taken away by the macro factors.
Yeah, everyone sort of goes, oh, that must be great news, and then remembers that we live in 2022 and the whole world is falling around our ears. Yeah. So yeah, so that was some good news, and yeah, investors, savers in the US are going to be able to, about 20%, I think, of their 401k is going to be able to be invested through Fidelity into Bitcoin.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and this is like long tail investing as well. You know, this is pension savings,
like kind of dollar cost averaging, really. If you're putting a tiny bit into Bitcoin each month, but that's actually quite wise, because then at least when you get to your retirement, I mean, you will have made money on that. More than what you would just having a regular.
100%. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Good development.
Yeah. Well done, Fidelity.
But thumbs up from me. You've got the Macy approval.
I bet they're breathing sighs of relief over at Fidelity HQ. No, it is great news. And Fidelity, if I remember off the top of my head, I think custodies something like $4.2 trillion in assets under management. So that's some serious money
right there.
Yeah. So I think long term, this is going to create a lot of buying pressure for BTC, which is great. And I wonder whether they will start offering other cryptos. I mean, will we see? Perhaps we'll see ETH in the distant future as well.
Maybe.
But I mean, hopefully, perhaps we'll also see other asset managers as well. And pension savings pension funds in general are just huge troughs of money. So if even a small percentage of global pension funds, global pension investments find their way into crypto, that is long term. That is long term good.
Good.
So
good. I was just sorry. I was thinking something really mean.
What? Okay.
That you're going to cheat your pension very soon. Sorry. It's been a while. I've got lots to.
Look at what I have to put up with, people.
Oh.
Thank you, Clara.
We have. I was going to show the piece of paper.
No, you mustn't show. Okay, so that's all right. Should we go with option 2? So Clara has very kindly put together a list of 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we've got
4,
2
5,
options.
6. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you want to play option?
That's
do you want
why
to play bingo
you.
card option 1, folks, or option 2? Comments go. I think.
I am a number 1 Macy fan. Love you. Love you guys. Thanks so much.
Option 1 or option 2? I'm seeing more 2s than I am 1. Okay, it's option 2.
Okay.
All right. So option 2, we have 6 countries scattered throughout the world. They're fairly throughout the world. So if you can guess them, just shout some names at us. Shout some names of country. Ideally, where you're watching from.
Do people win a prize?
Yeah, I can't figure out what the prize is or how we get it to them. But you will win a prize.
Great. Just so that's the best.
So there's an incentive to play.
Oh, okay.
Wow, this is fast. Pakistan, Washington DC, Kenya, Canada, Germany, London, Ireland, Portugal, Latvia, Utah, India. India's on the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we cross them out?
Yeah, you cross them out.
It's gonna get very complicated. Otherwise.
Egypt, Belgium, Cyprus, London, Costa Rica, Croatia.
Oh, Costa Rica.
Croatia. Croatia's on the list as well. We've got Croatia. Ghana, Brazil, Nepal. I'm just reading the ones on clips. I hope Spain, Austria, Colombia.
Bedford.
That wonderful nation of Bedford. Philippines. Oh no, it's not on.
Nicaragua. My God.
This is coming. France. Yes, France is on the list.
Clips are come on, TikTok.
Clips are killing it. Come on, Clips. Brentford. The mighty nation of Brentford. One of my best friends is a Brentford fan. And has been very happy about that recently. Then where else have we got coming? South Korea, New Zealand,
Spain,
Indonesia,
Texas.
Singapore, the M25.
Don't send me flags because I don't know what flags are what. Please don't do that to me.
Please don't let me guess flags. Turkey's on the list.
Oh,
come on, Clips, you're absolutely killing this. So, are you really watching from North Korea, Aaron? I don't believe you. Central African Republic, no, but it's a good call. It's a good call.
We've literally got 2 left to do.
Yeah,
keep going.
This would be amazing.
Nova Scotia.
2 left to go. Iceland it's not on the list. It was on the list last week though, if I recall. I can't remember whether people were Chad, Hungary, Panama, Swiss, Puerto Rico.
Oh,
we've got 2 more. Okay, do we give them a clue?
It begins with a
One is in Africa and one is in South America. Let's see. Anyhow, can you keep an eye on those, Macy? And I will talk about Central African Republic, because it's not on our list of countries bingo today, but it has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. So becoming, well, really kind of the second main nation state to do so. Obviously, we had this weird kind of situation at Bitcoin Miami recently.
Oh, Venezuela. Sorry.
Venezuela, yeah, Anthony, well done. So there's one more, and it's an African country. Some friends of mine are going there soon, actually, and I'm insanely jealous of them. So Central African Republic has become the second sort of second main nation state to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. As I say, back at Bitcoin Miami a few weeks ago, we had this news that there's an island that was sort of a special economic zone of Morocco.
Sorry, no.
Done it, guys.
Woo.
Well done, everyone.
Well done.
Yeah,
you win nothing.
You win some sort of prize. I don't know. Macy's going away. That's the prize.
Yeah, I'll leave.
She's back. There's another one. So this is great news. And we also the Portuguese island of Madeira. Now this was kind of, everyone was expecting at Bitcoin Miami that we would have another nation state announcement, and we kind of didn't really get that. Madeira and a sort of special economic zone of Honduras.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, it was still great news, but it was kind of, I think we were hoping for something a bit juicier back then. Anyhow, this week we had the news that the Central African Republic has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a bit unclear. Like, people weren't really sure whether it was actually true or not. There was a bit of speculation. And then the president of the Central African Republic sort of tweeted confirming it. And then the BBC reported it as well. So. Okay. So we can be sure it's true. Now, is
that going to see any change?
The Prime Minister of the Central African Republic, I said. Sorry.
Is that going to? Well, should it see any change with the prices? Or?
Well, I mean, the market seems to have, like the other good news from Fidelity, the market seems to have gone. Again, I mean, there are a few caveats. I mean, this is great news. The Central African Republic is a pretty small and very troubled country. I mean, I looked up the population, and it's kind of around 5 million.
Okay.
London is nearly 9 million.
Right.
So there's a bit of perspective there. So it's not going to translate into a huge amount of buying pressure. It's a kind of small, but I think significant milestone. Okay. And it hasn't had the sort of ecstatic kind of reaction that we got from El Salvador when they announced it last year.
Yep.
It's good news, and unfortunately the market has been sort of has not really gone crazy about it, but there are these caveats. It is a very sort of poor, impoverished country. Unfortunately, it's got a lot of problems, and I think it's sort of run large in part by the Wagner Group, these sort of Russian mercenaries who I think are kind of running around the place doing not very pleasant things there. So It's got a lot of problems, but it has taken a step in the right direction about making Bitcoin legal tender. So
someone's saying
Panama legalized Bitcoin too. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, a lot of this is very kind of, there's
no clarity on.
Yeah, like legal tender is a different beast. There are a lot of kind of differing interpretations of what legal tender is. So you can legalize something, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's legal tender. As I understand it, legal tender means that you can settle government debts in it, so you can use it to pay your taxes.
Okay.
Things like that. So the government itself will accept it.
Right. Okay.
But there's this is sort of, it's another small domino to fall, and I think a lot of countries, especially in Central and South America, are exploring ways to adapt Bitcoin, to get Bitcoin into their kind of economies.
Yeah.
But yeah, legal tender is still quite a way off in most places, but it is gaining ground. So it's great news.
Yeah. Positive.
Yeah. What else was great news? We also had Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs are going to offer loans which are backed by Bitcoin.
That's crazy. That's such the way he who was it that did the speech about crypto? I forgot his name. Who was so against it a few years ago?
Ooh, I don't remember.
One of the CEOs.
Oh, Jamie Dimon of
Yes,
JP Morgan.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, JP Morgan. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting confused.
But I mean, they all feed at the same trough.
Yeah, they're the similar entity.
Yeah. You're right. Like back in, I think it was 2016, 2017.
They were so
against
it.
They hated it.
Yeah.
And now they have come to realize that it's what the people want. And the likes of Goldman Sachs, and I'm sure many more, again, this is domino effects. So Goldman Sachs are offering Bitcoin-backed loans. And I guess what this will let whales do is basically, take a loan out against their Bitcoin and go and buy another private jet or penthouse and stuff. I don't know how well it's going to.
So we're going to see
how
a bunch
positively it's going to affect people like you and me.
Okay.
The man and woman in the street.
Okay.
But it's good news. Good news for whales.
Wait, watch me next week turn up to work in my Lamborghini Aventador.
That would be a good flex.
Yeah.
I would be impressed.
I would be impressed.
You go for it, Macy. Thanks everyone for your comments, and thanks again for joining us today. I hope you've all got good weekends planned.
I will be working all weekend because I have the event. Well, we.
No, apparently you have the
we
event.
Have the event.
It's your event. It's your world. We just live in it.
So.
Okay.
So, if you are coming, you might see one of us, a few of us walking around in these. Come say hi.
Team. Coin Bureau team.
Yeah, come say hello, take pictures. I'm really excited to meet everybody, actually.
Yeah.
And again, if you couldn't buy a ticket, please come and join us online because we're going to be online.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to see everything that's happening. We've got really good talks throughout the day. It's going to be epic.
It's going to be wonderful. I really, really can't wait.
Yeah.
All the Coin Bureau staff will be wearing those funky T-shirts. And they'll be there to answer your questions and say hello and pose for photos and just generally be wonderful and lovely because only wonderful and lovely people work for Coin Bureau.
That's quite true, actually.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
It's not fake news.
When Ford Fiesta.
What is this for the loan?
That's more real. Someone's saying you should rent the Lambo for half a day.
Yeah.
Just come.
But then I have to give it back. And then that's where it gets messy. I once test drove a Porsche and it was so upsetting. I had to give it. I was like,
do I have? Can I not just keep it?
But can I please?
What if I do a really good job? What if I drive it really well? Poor Macy.
I know.
Sorry, Toby. I'm sorry to hear you couldn't get a ticket. We will be, like Macy said, we will be live streaming. We're live streaming it on TikTok.
Yes.
And we're live streaming it on Clips as well.
Clips, and I'm not sure if we're live streaming on Instagram, but we will have, stories.
There will be footage
such posted throughout the day. But if you do want to watch like anything in particular, we will be posting out, and we'll let you guys know what's happening at what time of the day. Yeah. So if there's that made no sense. So if you want to see like somebody particular speaking, or there's a topic that you want to listen to, then we will let you know beforehand. Yeah.
And as you say, Toby, yes, Rob from Digital Asset News, who is coming, is a great speaker.
Yeah.
And a really great guy. I've had a lot of interactions with him over Twitter and stuff. Obviously watch his videos all the time. Really looking forward to meeting him in the flesh.
Yeah.
He's going to be great. We're going to sit down and talk about, I think we're going to talk about kind of crypto and tax.
Yes. Yep.
Because Rob is an expert on that. I'm going to let him do the talking on that one.
Yeah, which should be quite interesting.
Yeah, so really looking forward to that, and really looking forward. I mean, we've got some amazing guests coming along. We've got amazing sponsors, but most important of all, we've got some amazing Coin Bureau fans coming along as well.
Yeah,
you guys. And if you couldn't get a ticket, I'm sorry this time, but as I say, we will be live streaming it, and if the event is a success, which I'm sure it will be, then we will be doing more in the future, and we'll keep you posted, and you can come along to those instead.
Yep.
Really looking forward to it. Will you shave? Is that my father? Has my father found his way into the comments?
Are you talking about his face or his chest?
Guy, will you shave?
I can see it.
Goodness sake! Couldn't you have a shave?
Oh my God.
I watched one of your videos.
Talking to me.
I watched one of your videos the other day, and couldn't you shave?
Is that your dad?
Yeah. I swear, all men of my dad's generation, like they all, certainly all British men, They all shave religiously. You can tell when my dad is under the weather
They're
because
like
he
a
hasn't
clean
shaved.
shave.
Like clean shaven every day, no matter what. And it makes him sort of, I think it's basically the worst thing that's ever happened to him. The fact that his son, me, his useless son, is sprung from his loins, just doesn't shave, because we don't do that.
What a disappointment.
I know, I'm a huge disappointment.
Utter.
I've seen one of your videos about cryptocurrency the other day. Mind you, as I said, my dad now holds Bitcoin, which I was convinced at the time was the top of the market.
Yeah,
but it's held firm. So, when my dad, I always thought when my dad finally bought in, as I knew he would eventually, Bitcoin would just tumble. But it's kind of held steady. Okay. I mean, it's it's lost a bit of ground.
Well, I mean, at least it's not tumbled.
Yeah. So well done, Dan. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry if my it's not laziness on my part. It's just not what I do. I just look better with a bit of stubble.
Grow a beard the shape of Ethereum logo. That would be quite funny, actually.
Nice. Yeah. Look a bit creepy, but it would be quite cool.
You could pull it off in London, central London. People would stop you in the street for a picture.
No one would bat an eyelid in the
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
It's like, oh yeah.
It's like, you guys from Coin Bureau. We could then also shave the Coin Bureau logo.
Yeah.
From the sides.
Okay.
Just a thought. I don't know.
Lots of ideas. Please don't get behind that one, folks. We really don't want that to actually.
We'll put a poll out on Twitter. We'll leave it to our fans to find out.
Speaking of Twitter, so Twitter's been a massive story this week and all of last. Yeah, we're talking about. I thought we'd talk about Elon buying Twitter.
It's
his personal plaything.
Yeah, he's something else, isn't he?
He is a crazy guy.
I think. Yeah, I mean, because there was a story about him buying the shares literally a couple of weeks ago. Then he threatened to sell them if they didn't sell the platform to him. So has he bought it now? He's bought it. So he's putting up. I think he's putting up about half the money himself. Right.
And then he's managed to get the other half. I think he's got various other investors on board. He's got a particular bank on board. It might be JP Morgan, but don't quote me on that. I might be wrong there. So yeah, he's basically buying Twitter. It's a done deal.
Has Tesla stocks gone up?
No, Tesla stocks have gone down because he's having to sell a lot of Tesla stock
to buy
in order to get the money to buy Twitter.
And how much did it sell for?
Tesla has I can't remember what he was selling them at, but Tesla has taken a bit of a dive.
Okay.
Mind you, all tech stocks, and we'll talk about this in a minute actually, all tech stocks have had a terrible first quarter. So all tech stocks have taken a dive. But I think Teslas have been also hit as well by the fact that, Elon is having to sell some of his bags in order to fund buying Twitter.
I wonder what the end game is there.
Well, I mean, it's hard to, he's talking about freedom of speech, isn't he? He's talking about
I feel like Twitter
and
but I feel like Twitter is, you're allowed to say whatever you want on there.
Well,
to a certain extent, I don't.
Yes, until you get thrown off, which I think a lot of people, is the problem that a lot of people have, because obviously loads of people have been thrown off the platform, and this is a very controversial topic. I mean, the most obviously Donald Trump got thrown off. I think that was because of the Capitol riots.
Yeah, the Capitol riots. Yeah.
And that was a hugely controversial thing. This Twitter story is huge, and it's obviously a big deal for crypto because Elon is big on crypto, particularly Doge, and that's obviously why we saw Doge pump in the middle of the week. Because I mean, there are theories floating around that one of Elon's ideas is that because a massive problem on Twitter at the moment is spam and bots.
Yep.
And what they're talking about is authenticating human. And one idea that's kind of been floating around is that everyone who wants to use Twitter, about basically everyone being able to get a blue tick, so long as you're willing to pay for it and provide some KYC, some identification.
Okay.
So to identify yourself as a human.
Right.
And the thinking is that anyone running bots or spam bots or anything like that, it would be too expensive for them to verify all of those, so they wouldn't bother.
Okay.
So you could be pretty sure that most people on Twitter, in theory, would be actual humans.
But then would you have to pay for Twitter?
Well, yeah, and they were talking about a flat fee, maybe a monthly fee, or perhaps even a one-off fee. And of course, a lot of the speculation was that you'd be able to pay this fee in Doge.
Right.
Or maybe other crypto, or BTC, but Doge was obviously the one that was the one was talked about.
That's a bit controversial though, because
blue tick using Doge, exactly. It is controversial, yeah, and yeah. I gather that Twitter employees are very kind of divided over it, and
because it's always been anyone can just use it.
Yeah. But the problem is that people have been abusing it, and not just in using it to sort of peddle hate speech or anything like that, but also, I mean, when I tweet stuff, I sometimes tweet stuff out, and it's just a bomb. You're just bombarded with spam, and at times it's unusable. And Twitter really isn't as much fun as it used to be. And I mean, you kind of go on Twitter at your peril.
Yeah, every time I go on, I just get dragged into some thread. I love reading all the comments, but then I get really deep into the comments, and I'm sat for like an hour reading through like a thread, and and then I'm just angry or like, I don't know. Whenever I go on Twitter, I just feel like really emotional.
Yeah,
it's like really.
I think. Well, there's a lot of talk that that Twitter and things like platforms like Facebook as well are designed to make you angry.
Yeah,
their algorithms work to wind you up because that means you engage more.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And the weird thing about Twitter, obviously, is as these tech companies go, I mean, it's massively influential, but it's got a sort of relatively low user base in the sort of low hundreds of millions when compared with Facebook, which has I think 3 billion or something. I mean, it's lost a few users, but it's still massive compared to Twitter. But Twitter has this sort of massive, huge outsized influence. But as a company as well, it doesn't really make very much money.
Okay.
I believe it's profitable, but it doesn't make a huge amount of money.
Okay.
So a lot of people are questioning why on earth Elon would want to buy it, because
that was my I don't get the.
Well, I mean, as he's proved time and again, he's a guy. He's just
because he's so business minded. There's something behind it that I don't know what it is yet, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah,
we will find out. I mean, it could all be Doge related.
It could all maybe it is just he's trolling us all, and he's just basically looking to pump Doge.
Yeah, because he's done some of this before. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah,
although I did make $2 on Doge.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Okay, you made $2.
I have I have such a small amount of it.
Warren Buffett here. Wow.
I know. I made $5 this week on all my investments. Boom.
That's why the Lambo's parked out front.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand now. So this Twitter story has it's been kind of dominating the headlines, both sort of in crypto and the real world.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out, and it's going to be fascinating. I mean, there is a sense that he's just kind of using it as his hobby. I mean, someone was saying this, I think it was this morning on a podcast I was listening to. It's his hobby, which is just crazy. It's what he spends his free time doing. Not that, I mean, this is another thing that I was wondering, like, not that he has any free time anyway, because he's got about 5 companies now.
Yeah.
He's going to be CEO of Twitter. He's CEO of Tesla.
Yeah.
He's CEO of SpaceX.
Yeah.
He's CEO of the Boring Company.
He wants to buy something else, doesn't he? I saw something else in the news.
I mean, what's going to stop him? I mean, maybe he's just going to try and buy everything. Maybe he'll try and buy Amazon next. Because actually, that's a good segue. I'm pleased with that segue, because another kind of macro factor that's been weighing on crypto at the moment, and another reason why we're seeing the markets down, is that we've had some terrible quarter one earnings reports from tech companies in particular. Okay. And I'm looking at it here. Amazon lost nearly $4 billion. Wow. Which means that Jeff Bezos will not be able to feed his Fabergé egg habit for at least 5 minutes,
Jeff
which
Bezos.
And Apple is saying it might lose around $8 billion.
Right. Okay.
And I think this is mostly down, certainly in Apple's case, and I think probably Amazon as well. It's mostly down to these supply chain issues, which are just clogging up the global economy. And this is another big macro factor as well. It's pulling the whole economy down. These congested supply chains, the fact that goods are taking so long to get from factories, even raw materials are taking so long to get to factories to be made into actual goods. And I just can't say, next he will buy Newcastle United. Wow. If he really wants some trouble. So yeah, there's these tech stocks are obviously kind of highly correlated to Bitcoin, especially crypto in general, is kind of following the Nasdaq tech index. And yeah, I mean, Facebook Meta's earnings report wasn't great as well, although it was better than expected. I think people were expecting even more doom from Meta.
Okay.
Boo-hoo. So that's another macro factor. The fact that tech stocks, which are really correlated with crypto at the moment, are having an absolutely terrible time, mostly thanks to supply chain issues, but other issues as well. We've also got, of course, we've got a Fed meeting coming up, which means a rise in interest rates. We're getting towards that 0.75%, which I know doesn't sound very much, but it's because of the spread, that 0.75%. That's going to climb as well. We will get to 1%, probably sooner rather than later. And that gets passed on obviously to consumers, but the banks take a spread as well. So even if the base rate is 1%, you as a consumer are probably looking at maybe 3 or even 4%. So yeah, interest rates. I kind of made a promise that I wouldn't talk about interest rates on the live stream, because even though I know people love it when I talk about interest rates, I mean, you have to. It's happening. It's another big we don't like to hear it, but it's happening. It's happening. Yeah, it's happening. And also just for crypto in general, like we're seeing really kind of low retail interest, low Google search trends are right down for kind of everything crypto related. The fear and greed index is pointing at extreme fear. Once again. It's tough out there. Fortunately, people like you guys are hanging on in there. You're not bothered about a few macro factors. You're hardcore. I respect that. I respect the hell out of that.
Huddle till we die.
And I saw someone mentioning, yes, Nexo has listed on Binance today. So that's another one of the, it's basically red across the board, apart from a handful of coins and tokens. Ape, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But Nexo made some big gains. And that was because basically Nexo listed on Binance. And a little tip actually for you. I learned about this morning through a Telegram channel that I follow called ICO Analytics. It's renamed itself to ICO Analytics in brackets stand with Ukraine, because I think the guy who runs it is Ukrainian. But it's a really good Telegram channel. I've followed it for ages, and it's really good for little tidbits of information like that. So ICO Analytics, if you want some good intel on, it's very good on things like exchange listings and stuff. And I think I can't remember how long ago, fairly recently, I did a YouTube video about some of my favorite crypto Telegram groups, and those are some of the places where I get a lot of my intel from.
They're good to keep in the loop.
They're not all infallible. You've got to sort of filter out some of the dross, but Telegram is a good place to get lots of information from. So ICO Analytics, there's a good one to be getting on with. And that's how I learned about Nexo listing on Binance today. And obviously Nexo, for those unfamiliar, is one of these centralized lending and borrowing platforms. And the Nexo token, you basically buy that, and if you hold a percentage of it a certain percentage of it in your portfolio, then that kind of, the more you hold, the kind of better interest rates you get. So I think, if you hold 10% of your portfolio in Nexo, you'll get, like X gold level. So that's Nexo. That's one of the few cryptos that's having a good day today. And the other one, of course, is ApeCoin, which is pushing. ApeCoin is looking like it's going to overtake Tron.
It's crazy. I mean, I looked. I was very inclined not to look. Because I don't hold any, and I did anyway, and I was like, "Oh, Macy."
Well, I do hold some ApeCoin because I got airdropped because I hold some mutant apes.
Well, okay.
But I'm not going to sit here and be smug.
Don't rub it in.
But couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist. So I do hold some ape. So bear that in mind. I'm going to talk about ApeCoin now, but do bear in mind that I hold it as part of my personal portfolio. So yeah, ApeCoin is pumping. Basically, the on the news, the other side Metaverse is due to launch in the next day or so. It's launching launching this weekend. And
the song gets stuck in the advert.
Break on through to the other side. Is that the Doors?
Yes, but that's what they use for the promo.
Okay. Oh yeah.
But it's actually, the video is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been stuck in my head because I think the NFT expert has been singing it.
Yeah.
A lot.
The NFT expert. Oh, he loves it.
Yeah. It's literally like drilled into my brain. I go home and I'm like,
well, there are worse songs.
Yeah, and then it reminds me that I don't have any ApeCoin, and then I'm just like,
and then you're sad.
Yeah. I'm sad.
So so ApeCoin is really interesting. We've covered it a lot on across our various platforms. I actually put a Twitter poll out earlier asking which cryptos people think are most overvalued, and I must say a lot of people were really piling in on ApeCoin.
Oh, really?
It's a really divisive project.
Okay.
And there is a very interesting piece. If a good recommendation for something to read is Kobe. He's I'm sure I've talked about Kobe before. He's a brilliant kind of crypto analyst. He has he does the Up Only podcast, but he also has a really good Substack that he writes really insightful articles about various aspects of crypto.
Okay.
And he's got a article up there at the moment called ApeCoin and the Death of Staking. Which is well worth a read, and predictably has attracted a lot of attention, and I think he's gotten to a few spats on Twitter about it because he's not all that complimentary about it.
He's not for ApeCoin.
I won't spoil it for you. It's really worth a read, and Kobe's Substack is again another great resource that I look at all the time.
Okay, I want to know now.
Yeah, well, you have to read the article.
Aww. I don't read. No, I can't read. Come on.
So ApeCoin, I mean, I guess it comes down to whether you believe that the metaverse is the future. Do you believe in the metaverse? Do you believe in these communities that projects like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, do you believe in what they're trying to build? In which case you'll probably be bullish on ApeCoin. And if you don't, you won't be.
It's still very, like you said, very divisive.
Yeah. It's a really polarizing project, ApeCoin, but it is basically on the news of this other side Metaverse, and there's talk of a Metaverse land airdrop to Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club and various other NFT holders as well. Is that right? NFT expert?
He's gone out, but I think
he's gone out.
I think that is right, and I think can you not buy land anyway?
Where is everyone?
If you you can
if you hold ApeCoin, I think you'll be whitelisted to get land in the auction.
Right.
So again, that's another reason why ApeCoin is pumping.
So crazy though, like you're buying land. They're giving you land in the metaverse to build. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can see why it's very divisive because it's just so. Like one side I think is really cool, and on the other side I'm like. So weird, so weird. It's
some days the metaverse, you think, it's the future. I can see it, and then other days you're sort of like, is it though? Is it? And
but then when you think people are buying land there to build on, so that then they can sell, like, there's going to be like metaverse brokers, but like it's not real. It's still. It makes my head kind of go sometimes.
It does it can make your head explode. Too many metaverses. Most will crash, and burn.
I guess it's the same with
right.
And it's the same with a lot of like even altcoin projects because
and NFT collections.
They put out so many. It's like only some are going to survive.
And of course, if a bear market comes along, as we believe it will at some point eventually, a lot of these projects will get shaken out. But I have done videos on the best cryptos to hold during a bear market. There's a video up on the main channel. Put it out a few months ago. The NFT expert is back.
Looking very sheepish.
clutching a pred. It's a bit It's a bit late in the day for a coffee, isn't it, Felipe?
No,
God.
These people drinking coffee in the afternoon, that's absolute insanity.
People go
Clara does it as well. Drinks coffee at sort of 4
to
in
be
the
fair,
afternoon.
I don't, because it would disturb my sleep.
I have enough trouble sleeping as it is.
I do, yeah. I'm a terrible sleeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. We were just talking about the airdrop.
We were talking all about it, Filippo, and you've missed it now. The moment's passed.
About ApeCoin, yeah.
A lot of people asking about Harmony One. I straight up admit I haven't had a look at Harmony in a few weeks, so I will have a look at it. Yeah?
Yeah. I haven't looked at it though.
It is a great project.
I love that. Yeah.
As I remember, it was one of these cryptos that's really sort of struggling for developers.
Yeah.
And this is a problem that so many cryptocurrencies are having at the moment. And I think it's one of the things that's holding the crypto space back.
Because there's so little people to work on.
Yeah. There's just not enough good developers. Or to put it more accurately, I think there's not enough good developers who are willing to work in crypto.
Well, I guess because it's so new and people are still unsure about whether it's going to last or if it's going to crash or if it's volatile. You know what I mean? Like some people still. It's
a kind of ideological thing as well. I've spoken to a few developers, and every time I meet a developer, every time I talk to one, I try and persuade them to go and work in crypto.
So you should work in recruitment as well.
Yeah, I should basically be a recruitment consultant. I'm always saying, look, you'll get to build these amazing projects, this amazing technology. You'll get very good money for it as well.
Yeah.
And some of them have sort of been like, I'll look into that. But others, I think, are kind of ideologically opposed to it. A lot of them feel very strongly about crypto. A lot of them don't like it. It's easy to forget. I
guess as well, because I feel like when there's like main news about crypto, it's usually bad. And then obviously if they help develop like a coin, for example, that's a scam coin, or like a project that's terrible, then they're going to be associated with that for the rest of their lives.
I guess so.
That could be why. I can kind of see, and if you don't know much about crypto space, and I can see why people would be hesitant, I guess.
Well, if you know developers, folks, if you know software engineers, the people who can build these things, make them work in crypto. Get them to work in crypto, because it's, like I say, it's one of the things that's holding the space back a lot at the moment. I think a lot of these projects, even sort of massive ones, the likes of Harmony, but even larger ones like Polkadot and Cosmos, Solana. I mean, Solana and Near Protocol, which are spookily similar, are both competing. I think they both code in Rust, if I remember rightly. But they're both competing for this relatively small pool of developers who can themselves code in Rust. And there's only so many of them, and so much of this VC money that is flooding into crypto at the moment. And that's something we haven't talked about today. I've talked about it enough in previous live streams, but investment from all quarters into crypto is massive at the moment.
Yeah.
But a lot of this money is having to be used to attract developers to actually build the projects. And so many of these projects, when I have a look into them, I have a look at their roadmap, they've got these really ambitious, exciting roadmaps.
But they just don't have.
They don't, yeah.
I think like the younger generation, but like Gen Z, for example, more people like that are into it and they know about it. And I think more of that generation, and even like maybe people in their 20s now, early 20s.
Yeah.
I think so when they come up and they've got the experience to work within the crypto space, that could help a lot. Because I think like the boomer.
Oh, boomers.
Boomer generation. You're not actually a boomer.
I'm not a boomer. Don't look at me like I'm a boomer.
You're a millennial, which is really weird because I am, and I'm like 20 years younger than you.
Okay, boomer.
No, but I mean, like, they don't. They're more skeptical about it.
Yeah.
Than say the younger generation.
In a few years' time, we should hopefully have a pipeline of amazing blockchain developers flooding into the industry. I mean, we did
Yeah. They'll be so rich.
They'll be so rich.
so rich, man.
Oh my God, they'll be so rich. I did a talk for Cambridge Blockchain Society a while back. You know, and the fact that there is a Cambridge University blockchain society is so cool.
Scary
and so
well.
Exciting. Like, yeah, also terrifying.
Really clever people.
Actually,
no, it's good for crypto.
It's good for crypto, yeah. But you know, there are really smart people waiting in the wings, but we just need more of them. Mm-hmm. So become a software engineer, folks. I was talking to my sister about this. My sister's got 3 young kids, my lovely nieces and nephew. And you know, it's like get them coding. Get them coding.
It's true though.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was younger, I used to be like a recluse, and I was always playing on the computer or laptop. Mm. And my parents were like those skeptic boomers. This is just a phase. The internet's a phase. You need to go outside and play with trees. And I'm like, Mom, I could have been such a nerd, like in that world, making so much money right now. Thanks, Mom.
Someone questioning your generation classification. Macy considers those born after 1997 a Gen Z?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, yeah.
1980 to when is millennial? 80 to 97, is that millennial?
Yeah. And then 98.
Just crept in.
Is that right?
96. Okay.
96 is the cutoff.
Yeah.
96, 97.
And then 97 is Gen Z. You heard it here first, guys.
High level discussions here.
Clara knows what she's talking about.
We can put that one to rest. We've got a Gen Zer.
I think now there's another. Now there's another. Is it Gen Y? Gen X? Y?
Stephen Conway is asking Guy, weapon of choice for zombie apocalypse.
Macy.
Yeah. Would you what? Because you'd go in and kick zombie ass, or would they just all chase after you?
I'd just be in a terrible mood, and they'd just leave.
The zombie.
Or I'd be talking way too much, and they'd just oh my god, get away from her! She's crazy.
Just lose the will to live.
Literally.
There's your answer. My weapon of choice in the zombie apocalypse is Macy. Macy, what's your weapon of choice in the zombie apocalypse?
You. Talk to them about crypto.
No, there we are, folks. If the zombies come, get yourselves down to Coin Bureau HQ. Get behind us, and we'll crypto them to death.
Mine would be. I'm looking around the room. I don't know.
We haven't got any weapons in here.
I've got like a plastic. I've got a plastic knife.
Machine guns. It's just strapped to the wall.
There's a bottle there. Smash it.
Okay. I mean, I guess a tank or something. We spent too much time talking about the zombie apocalypse for this live stream, and not enough time talking about crypto. So in the pipeline for you. So next week. So basically, what I'm working on this weekend. I'm working on another podcast episode, the final episode about Ethereum. I don't think there's a podcast episode out today, which is all about crypto jargon. So if you want to know where the term HODL came from, then listen to the Coin Bureau podcast episode 11.
Okay.
I think it is. Mike and I are talking all about crypto jargon. If you want to know the origin of the laser eyes meme, then the Coin Bureau podcast is the place for you to go. So I've got I'm working on another podcast episode over the weekend. I'm also going to be working on a Cardano update because it's been a while and quite a lot has happened and is still happening with Cardano. So there's a lot to dig into there. I'm also going to be doing a video, basically CBDCs, central bank digital currencies versus cryptocurrencies. A lot of people have a hard time differentiating between the two. I
think so because they sound very similar.
Yeah.
They're both digital currencies at the end of the day.
And you can get into a lot of debate about what is a blockchain, what qualifies as a blockchain, and what's a distributed ledger. It's all fun and games, folks. So I'm going to be digging into that over the weekend. And there's also a Bank of Canada report about how much financial literacy Bitcoin holders have. So I'm going to be digging into that as well. I've already been kind of having a bit of a read through that. It makes for, I won't spoil it here, but there's some interesting takeouts.
Is it similar to the New York Post?
Oh, the one that said all Bitcoin holders were psychopaths.
Psychopaths, yeah. Is it along?
No, this is slightly more nuanced.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is slightly better put together. Okay. So that's what's coming up next week. We've also got a couple of videos in the pipeline for you. I'm just thinking about when the best time to put them out. We've got Polkadot versus Cosmos, Battle of the Layer Zeros. Polkadot versus Cosmos. And I love that. But projects I both really, really love and I'm very, very bullish on. I've kind of put them together in a head-to-head. So do watch that. And that'll, for those of you who need it, I'm sure you guys are all pretty much up to date on those projects. But if you want to be brought up to date with what Cosmos and what's going on with Cosmos and Polkadot, then that is the video for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. I mean, which one do you think comes out on top? Stephen says, oh, my weapon would be a cricket bat since you're from London. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, I think, well, he uses a cricket bat in Shaun of the Dead.
True, yeah.
I've pivoted back to zombie apocalypse here, people, sorry. And we've also got a Monero update coming out soon as well. Monero. I really enjoyed doing that. People are generally going for Cosmos.
Oh, I've got Polka. Polka. I'm guessing that's Polkadot.
Polkadot, yeah.
Polkadot.
TikTok is Polkadot and Clips is Cosmos, and that is the divergence
Such a
in our
divide.
live audiences. So it's getting towards 4:00. It is 4:00 on a Friday afternoon here in London.
It's gone so quickly.
It has, isn't it? I want to leave you with one more recommendation as well for stuff to read and check out. I said that I was a huge fan of Kobe's Substack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a massive fan of Arthur Hayes's Medium. Now Arthur Hayes is another really smart thinker and writer about all things crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Hayes, Hayes. His Medium, it's some pretty dense analysis on there, but he is a fantastic writer. He knows, he's got a great crypto brain, but he also, like Kobe, is a really good writer as well. And it's such a joy to read. He's got a great piece out. It came out a couple of days ago. It's called The Doom Loop. It's quite a long read, but it is worth it. And the only takeout I'll give you a juicy little takeout from it so as not to spoil it. But the Doom Loop equals $1 million BTC. Oh. So I would strongly recommend reading it. I'd love to get your thoughts on it as well, because it's a very stimulating read.
Is it?
Yeah,
it's really. I do want to read what you said earlier about the
Kobe.
Yeah,
Kobe is great, and listen to his podcast as well. Okay. So, folks, I hope you've all got great weekends planned. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are just a week and 1 day out from the Coin Bureau podcast.
Oh my God.
Really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to meeting those of you who can come. The podcast. Oh, did I say the podcast?
You need to. Okay, it's been a long day.
It's been a long week, folks.
Nice sleep now. Sleepy now. Sleepy.
The Coin Bureau event.
Yes.
Podcast. So there's so much stuff in the pipeline.
Yes.
Lots of work to do. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much.
No, Arthur Hayes isn't in prison. He was there. There was a court case about him, but he isn't in prison. Very smart guy. Thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We will be back. Are we going to go live next Friday? That's the day before the event.
I'm going to be busy, I think.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We could bring you into the venue while we set up. I don't know.
Maybe we could do a sort of short live stream where we just kind of show you what we're kind of setting up the event, so long as it kind of looks good. I mean, it's an amazing looking venue, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we might do that. I'm not sure if we'll have time to sort of do a sit down and, kind of talk like we've done today.
I mean, I had so many, the office is packed full of my
the office is a mess, actually, folks. You're seeing the good, nice, comfy section of the office.
From behind the camera onwards,
everything over there is just dreadful.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty busy. So we'll try.
Yeah.
If not, you might be able to.
What?
Go live.
Oh, go live. Oh, yeah.
You want to set up the event? You might be able to set up the event while I just have a chit chat.
You might be able to do some work for a change, guy. Yes, I might well be able to. And yeah, if you're very lucky, I'll wear this again in the next live stream because it has put me in a very good mood. That's why I bought it. It's working. I hope it's
money well spent.
Money well spent.
Good investment.
Like $40. So have a lovely weekend, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. See you all very, very soon.
Ciao. I forgot how to turn this off now.
Bring a camera. Yes, bring a camera to the Coin Bureau conference. Come and take pictures and say hi. Q&A with live chat next live stream. We have got live chat.
Ciao, ciao.
Iran is making Bitcoin legal tender.
Everyone's doing it.
I'm not
Everyone's
sure. Anyhow,
doing
I must end stream, otherwise
It's
I'll
hard,
just.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to leave.
And thank you, everyone. Thanks for
Bye.
joining us. Okay.
Yeah.